Snowflakes drifted down in soft silence, blanketing the city streets of Toronto. The evening rush had slowed, and the warm glow from coffee shops painted the sidewalks golden. Inside one of them, Mia sat at a corner table, clutching her old, worn-out coat tightly around her. The frayed cuffs and faded color embarrassed her, but it was all she had to keep out the biting cold. Tonight wasn't just any night, it was her first date in years. Her hands trembled as she checked the time again. 6:58 p.m. 2 minutes before he was supposed to arrive. His name was Daniel, a man she'd met online after months of hesitation. His messages had been kind, his words thoughtful, and his humor gentle. But Mia's heart pounded with fear. What if he took one look at her coat, at her tired eyes, and turned away? She had almost canceled the date that morning, but something told her she needed to go. Maybe it was hope, maybe it was loneliness, maybe both. The bell above the door jingled. A gust of cold air swept in, and Mia looked up. Daniel stood there, brushing snow from his hair, scanning the room until his eyes met hers. Her stomach flipped. He was taller than she expected, with kind blue eyes that seemed to smile before his lips did. He walked toward her, every step echoing in her chest. "Mia," he said softly. She nodded, standing up nervously, pulling her coat tighter as if it could hide her from judgment. "Hi, Daniel. It's really cold out there, isn't it?" she said awkwardly. He smiled. "It is, but I'm glad you're here." They sat down. At first, everything felt easy. The way he listened, the way he laughed, it almost made her forget the anxiety gnawing at her heart. But when she saw the other women in the cafe, dressed in sleek winter coats, stylish boots, and perfect smiles, her insecurity came rushing back. She could feel her old coat scratching against the seat, could see the tiny tear near the pocket, and she hated herself for it. Daniel noticed the shift. "Hey," he said gently, "you okay?" She forced a smile. "Yeah, just a bit tired." But her voice trembled. Daniel leaned back, studying her quietly. Then, without a word, he stood up. Mia froze, her heart sinking. This is it, she thought. He's leaving, just like everyone else did when they realized she didn't have much to offer. She bit the inside of her cheek to stop the tears forming. But Daniel didn't leave. He walked to the counter, paid the bill, and came back with 2 steaming cups of cocoa. Then, without saying anything, he slipped off his own coat, a thick, warm wool one, and draped it over her shoulders. "Daniel, what are you?" He smiled softly. "You looked cold. And for the record, this old coat of yours. It tells a story. It's seen things, hasn't it?" Mia's throat tightened. It's all I have right now." "I figured," he said. "But you know what I see. Someone strong enough to show up. Someone who didn't give up on life, even when it got hard. That's more beautiful than anything you could wear." For a moment, neither of them spoke. The hum of the cafe faded into the background. Mia felt warmth not just from the coat, but from something deeper, a kindness she hadn't felt in years. Tears welled in her eyes, but she didn't hide them this time. They walked outside together afterward. Snowflakes danced in the air as Daniel pulled her close, his arms still resting around her shoulders. They walked in silence, their breath forming soft clouds in the winter night. For once, Mia didn't care about the stares of strangers or the worn fabric brushing against her hands. She only felt the quiet safety of someone who saw her for who she really was. Weeks passed. They met again and again, walks in the park, late-night talks, cheap takeout dinners. She started laughing again, started dreaming again. Daniel never mentioned her coat, never treated her like she was less. One day, he even joked, "You know, I think that coat's become our lucky charm." By spring, when the snow melted and the city came alive again, Mia had found a better job, bought herself a new coat, but she never threw the old one away. She kept it folded neatly in her closet, a reminder of the night she was seen, not for what she wore, but for who she was. Months later, as they walked hand in hand by Lake Ontario, Daniel stopped and looked at her. "Do you remember the first time we met?" Mia smiled softly. "How could I forget? I thought you'd walk out." He squeezed her hand. "If I'd done that, I'd have missed out on the best thing that ever happened to me." The sun dipped below the horizon, painting the water gold. Mia leaned her head on his shoulder, feeling the warmth of love she once thought she'd never find. Sometimes, love doesn't come dressed in perfection. Sometimes, it walks in quietly, sits across from you in a cafe, and wraps its coat around you when you're too cold to believe you're worthy of warmth. And from that night on, Mia never doubted again that even in a world full of polished smiles and perfect coats, real love always sees through the layers, to the heart underneath.